Hello YouTube, this is MaulGamer and welcome back to more stories. Now I probably might do another one of these next month, pretty early on, maybe two next month. I never really get round to doing these. I mean, they're pretty simple to make. All I need to do is plug my mic in to my phone and just record. But I kind of wanted to do this one after some recent thing that's happened personally to me over these past few days in quarantine. So, if you don't know, I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. That's it. And I'm gonna say it's probably one of the most adored animes I've ever faced. Now, recently, I will talk about spoilers here. So, if you want to watch JoJo, watch it. Definitely get past part 4, because this is part 4 spoilers here. But, part 4, episode 22, early on showed Shigechi's death. And, oh boy. I've almost cried at JoJo's Bizarre Adventures a couple of times, which is an accomplishment for some animes and any movies or anything. I mean, the first time I properly cried at something like that was probably Tony Stark's death, actually, in Endgame. That broke me. Then I cried at Sword Art Online's second season, literally the Sleeping Nights arc. That I cried at, and I was surprised that I cried at it, because near the end it definitely shocked me that I even cried at something like that. Definitely an impactful anime for me. Definitely. And then JoJo's Bizarre Adventures officially made me cry, and that's definitely an accomplishment. Before it, I almost cried at, well, Jonathan's death, Caesar's death, and then I wasn't fully on the verge of crying at Avdol's quote unquote death, and Iggy's definitely made me tear up almost, but didn't probably cry. It was like more watery eyes than it was crying. Like, the tears didn't roll down my face, they just stayed there. And then Kakuin's death almost hit me hard as well. So, a good load of times in JoJo have I almost cried at deaths. But Shigechi's, I don't know what happened, but I just teared up. I teared up and tears just started rolling down my face. That, oh, I couldn't bear it. It was just so sad. And for a character who I'd only just been introduced to as well, like, only a few episodes prior was, you introduced to Shigechi. I mean, Iggy was there for the whole Egypt arc and died heroically. Kakuin, nearly the whole entire Stardust Crusaders. Same with Avdol, except when Avdol actually died, that was not upsetting. It was expected. It was like, oh, really? You're dead again? Seriously? Oh, come on. But there was something about Shigechi that definitely hit me more. First, he was innocent, almost. I mean, he was shown to be greedy, but still on the inside, he was a good guy. Definitely. You could definitely tell his innocence more, that because if you watch, you know that he's, he's a mummy's little boy. And that's just beautiful. And he, even on the brink of death, he shouts for Josuke. He says that he doesn't want to leave, that he doesn't want, his parents to die, referring them to mummy and daddy, not mum and dad, or mother and father. That definitely adds some more innocence to the character. Then there's the fact that nobody noticed his death except for Josuke, but only because Harvest. Only because Shigechi's stand, Harvest, was able to get the button from Kira, definitely made the death a bit more surprising, because if he had died, Kira would have just gotten away with everything. He could have just walked off, nobody would have noticed, anything would have happened, and then part 4 would have just been like, oh, there's still a killer on the loose. No, but it's just so shocking how well executed the death was, and the fact that it made me care for a character who had shown to be greedy, who had been shown off not too long before, and still hit me so hard. That was upsetting. That was to show the true nature of the villain. In Star Wars Crusaders, we don't really get to see how powerful Dio is. We just hear, oh yeah, he's powerful. We don't, fight him early. Nobody fights him until literally the last 4 episodes. And that's a long way from, any other. So, to say that, Shigechi died to Kira, and Kira has been only just shown off, and we can only see the true extent of his power, and we only just got to learn about him, the episode before. I mean, we've seen that he takes others' hands, but we never really, saw his power. We never even got to see his own face until, late episodes. And just everything about him just speaks evil. I mean, he wants to live this quiet life. He goes out to say to Shigechi, when lying on the floor, his entirety of his life. He says how old he is, where he lives, his name, singularity, whatever. He says all this normally. And to someone who's dying on the floor, that's just, whoa. And to say that this character was executed like this, in such way, that's the beauty of JoJo. And that's what I love most about JoJo as well. It appeals to a lot more people. There's different genres for different people. Some people might start watching Phantom Blood, and they don't really enjoy it because it's not their style. They don't like this, 1888 calm. Well, it's not calm really. It's more like 1888 heroic sort of story. That's not what some people might like. But then you go straight to 50 years later, and boom, you're already in a new story. And a complete different. It's it's a new genre in some way. It's more upbeat, definitely. Then there's part 3, which is more of an adventure anime. It's definitely much better. And then you have part 4. It's a murder mystery. I'm not much into murder mystery, but I definitely think that the part hit me the hardest with the death. That's for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. See ya.